Alright, heavy cursed seed here today. I guess it kind of goes along with my... I won't count it for my Umber streak, of course, since the seed RNG is not mine, but it goes along with the theme, right? I will say... So what I do know about the run is... So Dynamom had posted it, saying that the start is like particularly rough. I tried not to really read into much else of what went on, and there's some back and forth between her and Dusk. It looks like Dusk is able to get through it here, as he pretty much always does, right? I think the Cranberry Seed's like literally the only time I've ever seen him lose. Anyway, though, just general thoughts about the combo. It's better than Echo Break secondary, because Fracture is a really good starter, but I'm adamant. I think Wormkin is the weakest combo with Primordium. Yeah, there are games where you get Echo Infusion or Echo and Transfer, and then it's good, but outside of that, I don't think it benefits a lot of the time from Primordium in the ways that the other clans do. So we got Patient, Shadow, Talos. I'm becoming more and less of a fan of this Talos. Like, pre-DLC it was the easiest Talos by a long shot. Now it's like, if you shard up a bit, it's a lot of incoming damage. Still probably better than the other Taloses, though, so no complaint there. I think the Arcus Sin of Shadow is the only one I really hate here. I think Patient, we're going to have plenty of options to deal with this combo. Engine Upgrade has slight synergy with Immortal Trade. And Echo Snare, I don't like Echo Snare, but Ring 1 it's alright. So Dynamom went down Ring 1, it looks like. We'll try not to use that information to our advantage here. So, I mean, right off the bat, I mentioned it. I guess the video won't come out by the time... In one of my videos, you'll see me mention it. It's coming out in the future, but I basically talk about how the highest roles for Superfruit are actually within the clan itself of Umbra, in my opinion. Hellhorn's the only other real contender, so, like... I do like Superfood. There's definitely some high rolls that Wormkin provides, such as Symphony of the Soul, where you can double your buffs. We already have a really good card for Superfood, in a sense. I mean, if I don't get the Ember Drain package, it's obviously not something I would slap onto Primordium, but... I don't know, I'm not too scared of this. I would lean toward Superfood here. I think you're fine to go either way. I just don't think Aggressive has much that it gives. Wormkin, I guess we should check the banners too. I mean, it's definitely Wormkin, so, like, I would say Aggressive's really good for, like, Alloy, but Wormkin, I don't know, it's okay for the eggs, but the eggs present their own issues in and of themselves. Obviously, Superfood's really bad with the eggs. Kinda. The stats are still nice. I think the Ring 1 stats that Superfood provides are always better, but we're trying not to gear toward Ring 1. We should play as if we don't know that some supposedly Nightmare Ring 1 is coming up. I think either way, in my opinion, we go Superfood here. I think mainly just because we have these Immortal Trades, and I think Superfood outside of eggs just gives us more in this combo. Pretty sure we just do Decayed Decoy. I hate Commemorative Spike. We have Fractures and Echo Snares. It's about the best situation for a Decayed Decoy that I could think of. We basically gain nothing here from anything except Jack Strips, so it's pretty much Jack Strips by default. Alright, let's see what we got in store. Alright, obviously the worst one to see with 15 shards, but it's honestly not that scary. Like Fracture or the Echo Breaks, we're bound to find them. Yeah, we're gonna be fine here. I don't think I'm too scared of this. Let's do this bottom. And I think we just do that. We may as well do that as well, I guess. I don't know. And for Steward will just prep a good morsel for it. Greed time. Well, a single fracture kills this, so we'll just do that. Already the main threat of this fight is out of the way. I don't gain much by generating a thing here. Let's just do that. Alright, I see now. I see the problem. What the fuck? Not a single steward. But luckily there's the power of fractures. I don't know. I think we're going to be fine. This guy's already dying. We lose a little bit of health. I could technically Immortal Trade here. And I can just play whatever comes up. And we'll stack so much lifesteal on him that it won't matter. I'm debating it. You know, I play one card next turn if I do this. But Echo Snare. Echo Snare doesn't really do much for me. We kill this. Yeah, we don't kill this guy. Nah, I don't think I Immortal Trade here. That is unfucking fortunate, isn't it? Well, actually, you know what? It dies to Jackstrip, so we're good. And then we just do that. We may as well put these guys mid. And I guess we'll throw one away bottom. And if we just can get to a Immortal Trade, we'll be fine. If not, I think we beat this with... We'll damage it enough with a Reap that it's not going to kill us or anything. So, yeah. Alright, we get it done. So, and by the way, had we chosen aggressive, I think we would just skip spikes and then we're fine. Right? Because the only thing that would have changed is I think we're fine even if we took the spikes, honestly. I mean, if you think about it, I would have lost Primordium to the spikes. But did I need Primordium to win there? I had an Immortal Trade. The Immortal Trade wins anyway, I think. If it doesn't win, it at least damages him enough that I don't die. There's the perils. I gotta think we do that. It does suck that there's no unit with this magic, and we didn't get a unit draft. So that's one 50-50 we don't get to do. Oh man, that 50-50 is not good either. Like this steel... I mean, the Umbra Banner's no good, but the Vortex is really good. I could maybe justify this Merchant of Magic if I find something that benefits from double stack. And, you know, it wouldn't be a Mortal Trade right now. So basically what I'm sussing out is if I can... How likely am I to get a holdover, or at the very least... a permafrost on this perils. It also sucks that we have early Hellvent, because the permafrost plays really nice when you can dedicate every Hellvent to it. If you have 4 permafrosted perils, that's as good as holdover. 3 still almost there though, but I could low roll and get consume remove and double stack here. That's why I'm thinking I need either a consume remove or a double stack high roll to justify this Merchant of Magic, I think. If I can do that, I see a pretty good line here. Perils doesn't have to be the thing, but I do think it's worth taking, because the other two aren't really that good. The Pack Morsels is almost passable. I think right now, since we're taking a Wormkin unit and we're not too good on our infusion ratio, this doesn't help us that much, but it'll be worth adding. Yeah, I would love to go left, but that's too risky. Well, we got a shitstone. Blah. Yeah. I'll be honest. It couldn't be much worse. It couldn't be much worse. Probably the smart thing to do here is to just take the Kinhost Vessel. I don't like it, but I can put shitstone on it. And it'll work. But man, now I really wish I went aggressive. I wonder if I talked myself into superfood too much by seeing Dynamom's Dead train on Ring 1. I feel like I may have, but I don't know. I will say this. We still kind of gain value from superfood, but definitely at this point aggressive would be better, given what came up. Hard to know, though. Hard to know what comes up, right? Either way, here's Wonderwall. Or anyway, here's Wonderwall. We're going to take the shitstone. I have a bones, it looks like, so I could re-roll for quick or multi. Let's do it. Okay, I think I lock a quick in here. True, we only strike twice, but we may just get a furnace tap and that solves that issue, assuming we hatch in time. I mean, we got a jackstrips. This whole fight is hard countered by it. And we've got a shitstone. When I hatch, I basically heal. Let's just try to get echoes on the floor, I guess. We can do that. We'll throw these fuckers away. Oh, I love it. I don't know why, that's just so fucking satisfying. I mean, you're dead, but I do kind of want echoes on the floor. Here, why don't we do this? Let's do this. I'll get the echoes going. Hell, I'll even, I guess, kill the guy. And you can just die, I guess. I don't really need you mid. Man, I'm not even a jackstrips fan, but seeing stuff like that, that's so satisfying. Look how fucking hard this egg is to hatch, though. It's technically not a bad unit. I hate it, though. It's like, it just feels icky to me to play this fucking unit. It feels icky, if that makes sense. We'll hatch it here. I'm going to give myself extra turns, because why not? I know it hurts the score, technically, but we're not playing for score. We're just looking to win. We're just looking to win here. I'm quick, so this is a complete waste. Well, it's not a complete waste. Should have done the bottom floor. I'm an idiot. Fuck it. Let's just do it. I mean, we're going to crush this guy. My stats at this point are just refuckulous. I suppose, given that I have Immortal Trade, the quick sure was unnecessary, wasn't it? I don't know. If we don't do Ember Drain, though, it's not like I can willy-nilly play these necessarily. This is kind of a tough decision, I guess. It's like, I'm having such a hard time hatching this fucker that, like, I want to add this Immortal Trade, even though it's completely redundant with the other ones. Like, there is... This is, by the way, why I kind of think Wormkin sucks more than people give it credit for, but like either of these would have been much better, just making so much more sense for my deck. The one I would want is Mind Collapse, but if an Excavation Eruption was infused here, I would take it, because it's good enough early game, and I need echoes right now. But this card is just, like I said, with that, and I'm definitely not, obviously not getting a way out of Ember Drain here. Well, maybe I get a Karuska, although I have no extract cards, so no, not even that. So like, yeah, maybe I get a... I guess I still have a Wormkin card to pick up, so maybe I find one. There's 3 I could get. I do feel like the correct choice here is the Mind Collapse, and then we're just sad as hell. Yeah. Would have led to Bounty Echoes. Instead it gave me an uncommon when it's... I really wish they would switch it so you only get commons. Like, not only do I get an uncommon, but it's just like the most laughably fucking bad one ever. This is one of the worst cards in the game. It's like an active downgrade to everything I want to do right now, and everything I want to do in 99.99999999999% of my games. I guess we just take yet another. I don't know. I don't think the uncommon. I don't think the common pool is really that good for Wormkin either. I think my tier list is already out at this point for the common pool, but I kind of go over that. I'm like, I think it's one of the weaker common pools because like Hostingkin and Echo Snare just aren't good. If they are they're not bad, but they're not good. They're definitely not great. And like, I'll take the Echo Snare here. I'm just bitching at this point, but like it doesn't help you that much. It helps you on the first draw through, and that's it. It's like past that, it doesn't help your economy of infused cards. But I guess it's fine. There's just too many good Wormkin artifacts, and we need a Wormkin infusion, and I don't have any good Hellvents. Right? I could Hellvent the Perils and hurt my economy even more. I just don't think we do that. Let's check this first. -2, Purge. I really hate the Purge Stone. What do all y'all think about that? It's like, it's so hard to justify 10 shards, especially early game, to just purge a card. Not even purge it, you have to draw it still and play it before it purges. I just don't like it. Oh, ew. God. The fuck? Warn me before you fucking show me this bullshit. Ugh. 2 of the worst artifacts in the goddamn game. I'll tell you what, though. We do have, what? It was Sin of Shadow, I remember. We can probably take Concussive Coals simply for that. It's pretty much useless outside of stopping Scourge Shuffling, but it's better than a measly -1 to all damage. Winged Indulgence is just so bad. Well, I mean, we don't have an endless egg. I wouldn't want this one endless anyway, unless I'm gonna find like a Soul Siphon with Spell Chain and Bounding Echoes. It's a lot of moving parts. I do think though that it's a passable infusion here. It essentially represents +20/+20 with no downside other than a delayed second half of the stats. Well, let's think. Out of everything that's available to me, what are the things that might be better? Let's do Umbra first. 10/10 lifesteal, no. 10/10 damage shield. Against Patient, maybe. But I'm a large stone, I should survive the first hit. Plus, not a banner, but +1 Ember per turn. Maybe. Maybe better than +20 of stats. Delayed stats. Not that. I think Alloy would be way too risky. I even lose the fuel when I hatch, so no way. Morsel Maid. Not with the deck I have. Morsel Maker would be better. That quickly grows to more than 20/20 of stats. And definitely not Overgorger, definitely not Shadow Eater. Shadow Siege, we would need to take a pip upgrade, but that's maybe worth. I think I see the unit before I have to choose, right? Well, right. Oh, I didn't check the goddamn Wormkins. So if I can't see Bogfly, I wouldn't take it anyway. But the Chrysalis, no. I have never used this essence. I don't know about that one. Glareminder, I'd honestly just pivot to... Even though I've spent money on this egg, if I find a Glareminder, I would just use that as my unit. Not Glug Cider. Not Kinho's Vessel. I think this essence sucks so much. I never understand how people are able to make use of that. The Carver I would probably take. I lose a lot of that armor on Hatch, but I don't lose the two. I have a pip to spare already, so I get pretty good damage scaling there. I would definitely I would probably prefer the Carver to even the Morsel Maker. I get a lot of stats out of that. Bog Deep Cocoon I would take. For sure I would take that. Keeper of Echoes... I mean... 10 inspirations to match what the Carapace gives. And we already see the Cannon. We don't want that. I mean... How many consumables do I have? I guess I have a decent amount of consumables. 1, 2, 3. Engine upgrade could get played on floor. I mean, there's not really a reason not to. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Often not played on the... Here's the thing, though. Often these echo snares and hosting kins can't be justified on the floor. So even just talking that out, I don't like the etch. Where's our temples? I gotta wait till then. So it's like I could get Wormkin, I could get Umbra here. Steel isn't as good anymore, though. It's just a Vortex and maybe Umbra. I think we're going Magic to try to get that Holdover Perils. I think we don't take this. I think this is pretty irrelevant. I don't think it's even worth the 25 shards. I'll be taking 15 here. We'll go up to 40. I might be able to keep at 40. I would love if I could, because then Party Boy can't fuck me. And we have so many temples coming up. I'll definitely have ways to get my shards. You know what I'm saying? -2. Yeah, let's just keep the shards low for now. I just don't think so. They're horrible for Wormkin because they're not infused. You're just... We'll never hatch our mother. I mean, if we take this... I guess I could take it for the endless infusion and actually make an endless egg. It might not be the worst idea in the world. I could take the unit now as a dead weight, not play it because I don't want to replicate it. If I do find accelerated incubation at this ring reward, I could maybe justify the endless egg. And then we got a stew going, baby. We got a stew motherfucking going. I probably won't hatch the egg on the second try, but at least I got a decent statted unit that I just plopped down on another floor, and it can keep coming back. I'll tell you what, though, I don't know. That's a little bit YOLO, I feel. We should be able to just get it done with a unit. We don't need to be going with endless shenanigans. It's not going to be worth... It's just not worth it. I think we're going to have a hard enough time on this fight anyway. It's not going to be a fun fight. I can assure you of that. Jackstrips takes care of them. I definitely want to kill that guy, though. I think I want to greed here a little bit, though, because I want to hatch this guy as soon as possible. So, Echo Snare there. This kills this guy. Is there any... We don't have any etch synergy right now, so I might as well just do that. I wanted to play that, but I think it's important we just get echoes on the floor for now. God, Jackstrips is fucking doing work. I will say a Ring 1 Jackstrips, as much as I hate this artifact, a Ring 1 Jackstrips is pretty damn PogChamp. You get a fuckload of value from it. I'm liking this artifact more and more, but mainly just early game. I still think late game it's a pretty damn useless pickup. We get a little bit more wave clear value here. I guess the question is, am I worried about killing Talos? She has a ton of stats. A ton of them. A literal fuckload. Why don't we do this? I will do this here. I'll do this here. I'll do this here. then we call it good. Still only 5. I've barely added any shell crack in here. Barely added any. Let's do this. Apparently I'm just doing no fucking damage to this bitch. I could do this if I wanted to give her armor, but I'm gonna basically heal when I hatch. I will heal, or I will hatch this fight. It's happening, it's just taking forever. Thank God for these jack motherfucking strips. Let's do that. All that just to hatch this fucker. This is, by the way, when I've seen some people talk this unit up, but bash things like Horned Warrior or Animus of Will, I just, my mind explodes. Like a mushroom cloud just pops the top of my scalp off. I'm like I said, it's not a bad unit, but the price you gotta pay to get multi-strike here versus just having multi-strike on your unit, to me, they're not even comparable. The Animus of Will and Horn Warrior are such better units than this. I could care less about the Reap on strike, the one measly Reap. I guess here it's the best, and even here I get double Reap. I still don't care that much about the Reap here, right? And then the extra measly stats. For 8 echoes, I could have, like, 8 cards that I've probably had to force. You know, notice how many turns I had to force play stuff on that floor when it could have been better served elsewhere. Those could have easily just been buffs that I'm slamming on an Animus of Will or a Horned Warrior. I don't get it. Well, anyway, here's Wonderwall. Let's just add as many stats down here as we can. Can do... We really don't benefit at all from that. Let's just do this. Still lost 40 health, all things considered. The armor gains definitely has... The fact I'm quick and the armor gain kinda is making Immortal Trade not so hot. Like, I may remove Immortal Trade if I don't end up with Holdover Perils. Ooh. We got 2 incredible... Well, Symphony of Soul is not an incredible card, but situationally it's quite good. It's infused, so the extract cost has gone down. Echoes of the Past is really good too. I am wondering, though, both of these cards kind of have anti-synergy with the fact that we have this egg. I could very easily pivot away from this egg if I find any decent unit here. Let me think. What is going to be a more solid choice here? Like, Symphony of the Soul. How many shots do I got? I think I am going this route most likely. Unless I find a good unit here that makes me want to go to the Steel. We'll see. But I'm likely to hit this low value Merchant of Magic here. Well, I did say I need something that benefited from double stack. I don't have that. I arguably... And I don't really have anything that benefits from Consume Remove. I needed one of the two there. I just don't have them. I could maybe talk myself into thinking this infused Echo Snare is worth Consume Removing. I could maybe talk myself into it. I guess what I'm trying to say is Symphony of a Soul only makes sense if I'm committing to this magic. And arguably this magic, moving away from this Hellvent. God, that's a tough one to sell. And this magic's... These magics, as I look at them on second look through here, they're rough. Echoes is just always going to be a good card. It's a lot less good when I'm cycling through the entire deck and not able to keep Echoes on the floor, though. I mean, I can generate Echoes and then do it, but I then don't hatch my guy, so... It's a really good card. Echoes of the Past, to me, might be the best rare for Wormkin, just on a consistency basis. Symphony of Soul will be utterly useless for me depending on how this run goes, so I don't think I can justify Symphony. It's too speculative, it's too YOLO. Echoes probably will be good. It could be a deadweight, though. I could see arguments for skip here. I don't think I would take Forever Consume. Don't have... It's not going to be... If it was, I'll tell you what, if Forever Consume was infused here, I'd take it. 100% I would take it, but in true Wormkin fashion, just the card that is the least takeable here is the one that's fucking infused. Still not convinced Umbra's the worst. I kind of lean toward Wormkin being the worst clan, but that's neither here nor there. I think I'm going to take the Echoes of the Past. Haha! There we go. I don't have to use this fucking egg anymore. Thank God. Alright. Still don't know if I'm going left or right, though. Seriously, it's like this weight was on my back or my shoulders or whatever fucking body part you want to say. And it's just been lifted by Gold Glareminder here. Draw will always be good. Yeah, it's got to be draw, right? I just don't get much from the others. Okay, so I will say Immortal Trade still sucks. It's not great with a sweeper. It's okay into Relentless, though. It's not like I lose. Like, usually I'm just... I round down to fighting one enemy, and I can probably remove most enemies accompanying the bosses when they do. A lot of time there's none accompanying them in the first place, but with the amount of Reap I'm able to hit ahead of time, I think I can take out most of it. I mean, Jackstrips takes care of the squishies in a lot of these cases. I think we are going to remove Kinhos Vessel. If I go left, I could get an infusion for my Glareminder, because I'm not going to... I mean, I guess on a sweeper would... I feel like I've tried this infusion before, Kinhost into Glareminder, and just been pretty disappointed, but I guess... I don't know, I guess I have the Decayed Decoy. I mean, let's say on Divinity, let's say I never end up with multi-strike. Even just a 1 strike to a floor of like 6 units on it. That's going to be 12 Reap to the whole floor. Plus whatever consumables I can add there. Would add a bunch more Reap. So, you know, every unit hit, I get 2 Reap to everybody. I could see Kinhost being an okay infusion here to Glareminder. And I don't have to make it yet. So if I go right, if I get double stack and consume remove... Let me think about this. I would say right now, if I find holdover, I don't even know that I'm going to put it on Perils. Well, I should, right? I guess I'm debating putting it on Echoes of the Past. Seems like that gives me more scaling, probably. We still don't have a direct answer to Patient right now. Like, the egg had a 41 health start, which... was alright, but let me think about what I'm doing here. I think I'm trying too hard to talk myself into visiting these Merchant of Magics when deep down in my soul I know the value is on these other sides. Like, this Merchant of Steel could get me multi-strike, it could get me quick, both of them are great. Even a shitstone's decent. There's literally nothing bad I could add to Glareminder here other than Endless, but I just re-roll in that case. And I'll get something at least good. There's a Vortex, super high value event. There's a Number Banner. I could end up with like a Morsel Maker infusion, which would probably be better, I think, than the Kinhost infusion. Yep, this is a better side. Here. Herzl Horde. I still got a lot of good artifacts in the pool. A Hellvent. Hellvent the Echoes of the Past. Boom. Merchant of Steel, if I don't hit anything here. Unstable Vortex. Bye-bye Magic. Yep. I think the path is clear. There's a quick. 100% happens. There's an argument, though, that quick is bad against patient. I didn't hit Prismal Dust. I can still hit on Void Binding. I can still hit on Grovel. Here's the thing about Void Binding. Even though I may not have a way out of Ember Drain, since I'm not hitting these Merchant of Magics, it's still fine. Immortal Trade doesn't really work unless I'm going to hit a Shitstone. I don't think I settle for the Heartstone here. Heartstone's a shitty game anyway. I think I can justify this Shitstone in the context that patient is what I need to solve. Let's check what the Umbra banner is first. Maybe it's just something that gives me defense. Nope. No way I can justify the alloy there. I think I bite the bullet and just take the Shitstone. I mean, one thing that sucks here is... Nah, there's really no suck here. I have Superfood, actually, and Superfood ends up... I can just take a point of Superfood. If I see Stalwart here, I'll take Stalwart, but by the end, I'll have taken another point of Superfood. I have this initial buffer health to survive the first hit if patient starts top. And then I just start stacking some damage shield. I'm quick, that'll be fine. Melee weakness will stack up, but it starts ticking down as long as I have stacks of damage shield, which I'll have. Against Divinity, it allows me to set up top, at least for a little bit, because I'll have damage shield on Primordium, so he'll survive. Another reason why I like Superfood. So we'll do this. I'll keep talking it out here. So, and I'm just going to get rid of it. Well, no, I don't get rid of the egg because it's a good infusion. Is it? Well, we'll find out. I think I beat Stealth Boss just... I don't know if I beat Stealth Boss. I don't know that I beat Stealth Boss. I think I need to remove one Immortal Trade. And the Mind Collapse is looking a lot less enticing to me. Let's see what this is first. God damn it. I'll take this, the Pyrostone Housing. I mean, this steel here just seems to make a lot more sense than this Merchant of Magic. And I don't gain a whole lot from this other stuff. Yeah. If I could get another just even 25 health on it, but ideally a multi-strike, that would be great. So, I think the Mind Collapse goes. It's a spell, it's not infused. I'm Quick Sweeper, I just don't need it. There's a Stalwart stack, so I will lock that in right now. But we'll probably take, unless we find some intrinsic Soul Crushing Guild or something, we'll be fine otherwise. Alright. What do we got here? 150 gold, armor 15. I mean, I don't need the gold immediately. I'm certainly going left here. I do have Concussive Coals. I do have 62 Pyre health. I am low at 40 shards. I could still low roll and get hit by 180 health dudes that resolve into 1,000,000 damage. I could low roll and start egg, therefore not getting, getting later scaling. My scaling does suck. It's literally just Echoes of the Past and applying Reap to enemies. My damage isn't necessarily that high. This is a very tanky thing. I think we don't take it. Yeah. Well, this is actually okay. Not the best Echo of Past I've ever had, but you know what? It's honest work. We do get the nice concussive coal here, though, at least. And who knows, maybe a little bit of reap. Who is more important to kill right now? Oh, this goes here. I don't even think we play this, because then I lose out on reap damage. This is such a bad fucking unit. It might very well just be a bad fucking unit, right? I think we want to do this up top just to get some echoes. And hopefully, I think jack strips plus the echo that we generated here, yeah, that'll finish him. At this point, man, concussive coals, you might get MVP this run if you're going to do that well for me, dude. Like, you are fucking crushing it. I think I do this over that. It's not going to kill that guy anyway. 2 damage is nothing. Dude, concussive coals, you are awesome. I legitimately fucking love you right now, brother. Can do that. Can do that. This will finish him, so why not? Can do this. Oh, fuck. Alright, let's get this out of the fucking deck. Guess we'll do that. We are pretty slow scaling, though. That's becoming quite apparent. 65 ain't good. Damn, dude. Do I kill them or what? I feel like I'm actually in a bit of a rough spot here. I can't kill them anyway because of this fucking egg. I think we take the Scourge hit here. I'm pretty worried about my ability to kill this boss. This boss has a lot of stats. You know, on low shards, this actually might be the toughest boss. He still has 2 spikes. He'll go down in damage, but I don't think I have the luxury to fuck around here. I'll pay 3 pyre damage just to really try to get a guaranteed kill here. I could spend more time and try to do the exact math, but I just don't have that in my soul right now. And I think I can take... I don't think I gain a whole lot by playing these out, at least. So we'll do that. Alright, I should be good here. Okay, we're good. Probably could have got away with not doing all that, but, you know, I like to be on the safe side when possible. That's an infused void binding. I think we do take it. Like I said, I don't... There is a Sin of Shadow, but I might need this. I might. I don't think I need that. I could maybe see Soul Siphon. What about Bounding Echoes? Or Broken Memories, I mean. Currently... jack fuck all to bring that back, but Soul Siphon, the main thing there would be Echoes of the Past synergy. It has very anti-synergy with Superfood Primordium, but I don't know, maybe I could move my direction toward going Merchant of Magics. I mean, let's think this out at this ring. I do have some money here. Enough to re-roll and afford whatever. Well, not necessarily. It could come in at more, but I could skip here and afford it. If I go left, though, it's... The Hellvent is probably on Echoes of the Past, even though I'm having trouble generating and keeping Echoes. There is a Caverns here that accompanies the magic, though, so it's decent. I also now do technically have a good double stack target in Void Binding. So there's no real low roll now at the Merchant of Magic, except there kind of still is, because Perils, which had Permafrost as an acceptable upgrade, now only has 1 Hellvent ahead of it. just having 2 permafrosted perils isn't quite good enough, so we basically replace permafrost, which was previously a good upgrade because I could have visited that Hellvent and got 3 of them. Now it becomes a bad upgrade, but just replaced with double stack is a good upgrade, so it's like a 25% chance that I completely low roll at the Merchant of Magic, but there's a 50-50 that I get exactly what I want, which is perils. As far as the caverns go, a lot of the high rolls are not so high rolly for me. Like, a lot of the high rolls are pip related, so Microstone, which burns my Pyrostone housing, Hammer pip upgrade, which isn't really that relevant unless I think I need to set up mid. Or, yeah, I guess there's just not that many good caverns for me. I don't know that I can justify this Merchant of Magic. Even though I have this Void Binding. I mean, honestly, I could maybe just hold over the Void Binding, and that's good enough. Like, I could also 0 cost the Void Binding. And just start to 0 cost everything in the deck. I mean, if I 0 cost the Void Binding, if I 0 cost the Echoes... Because here's the thing, Void Binding with a goddamn Sweeper and Superfood Primordium is one of the strongest fucking things in the game. So I'm trying in everything in my power to justify going right here. I mean, I guess what I can alternatively do is just Hellvent this Void Binding, but it's at 1 cost, so... But I could then visit a later Merchant of Magic, like this one, I guess. Definitely that one, at least. And just 0 cost both of them. A lot of options here. Deck is large. I have to hit this Vortex, I think. I think Void Binding gives me a lot of immediate help with Ring 5, basically all the Ring 5 bosses, but particularly Stealth Boss. To a lesser extent, though, it really helps with all of them. I'm weak on scaling. This is a strong scaling card. I think I go to the right, but I think I skip here. I need the gold in case I have to reroll. Ugh, that's bad. I was hoping for a -2 at least. Well, that would have been okay on the whatever. I guess let's check the caverns. Hopefully I get something going my way here. Damn it, dude. These are all horrible. Like, I don't want to eat up my Pyrostone housing slot with a 25 health. I still might need my heal from Immortal Trade, so I don't want to make all my shit fucking Heartless. Though maybe the Heartless one is worth... I don't know, though. Like, I very well may need... Even though I have the Void Binding, which is kind of trumping Immortal Trade to a certain extent. I don't know. This is tough, dude. I guess I could do Blood for Blood. That's a safe pick, actually. I might just be leaking. It might be nice to mitigate how hard things wreck me when they get to my pyre. I don't think I can permafrost anything here. I think I just reroll and hope that I can afford... Well, I'll be able to afford whatever comes up. Yes. Alright, we got decisions now. What was the other thing? Piercing? Not intrinsic? Okay. Well, I see a spell chain. So, I was going to hold over the Void Binding, but a held over spell chain to Perils... That's too good. That's one of the strongest plays in the book. And I'm feeling pretty good now. This is a little preemptive, but I don't want to draw this card. I don't want to draw the egg anymore, so beyond just the power this is going to add to me, I like that I'm removing a priority banner here. Definitely not doing these, though. I'll get my shards just fine otherwise. We don't want to go to 100 right now. Or 10, even 90. Okay, Stealth Boss I'm not too worried about. If I can not bottom deck the Void Binding, I'll be fine. Even if I do, a single Void Binding should be fine here. I haven't removed any stewards either, so this doesn't worry me. Spikes here also doesn't really worry me. I mitigate a lot of it with Blood for Blood if things do end up going bad. I actually think I'm gonna do this here, up here. I'm gonna hold that for the boss. I'm gonna put echoes here in case I have to put them here. Just having echoes on each floor is gonna be a good thing. All right, we're drawing absolute shit so far. This is the floor we got to worry about. I mean, I'll kill this thing with quickness, so no worries there. Let's put it mainly into the overcharge tank, the echoes here. Alright, at least we'll have 3 stacks of rage here. I can also stack a bunch of Immortal Trade here, and that's pretty good. That mitigates the spikes for if I have to get hit there. Still gonna hold this. Might as well hold those stewards for the boss. Pretty weak echoes here. Guess we'll just put this damage in, do this. I think this is technically worth. I'm just trying to mitigate this guy's damage to my pyre as much as possible. Like 6 spikes is actually a decent amount of damage. I guess it didn't really help me that much, but whatever. Alright, we bottom deck Void Binding. Tail as old as fucking time here. I'm gonna do this so that I don't break a damage shield here on the initial hit. Let's do this. Let's get echoes up here, though, for the echoes of the past. I think we're A-okay here. Ah, these fuckers in the back. This is fine. We're gonna put the dudes mid, then. Because these die from jack strips. And let's just give you some reap. Eat up 2 stacks of stealth. This is our... I guess we're punished here for the play. I should have just done it bottom. I could have fit a steward up top, but you know what? It's really not going to matter, most likely. He'll have 7 stacks. That's not enough to get through these gigantic stats I have. Good thing we had the Immortal Trade there, though. That was getting down there. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I might want gold, but I got temples in my feet. There's a lot of stuff this might get me. I do think I'm going to the right here, though. None of these really very good, you know, completely honest. Forgotten Trade. It's infused. That's all it really has going for it. It is a way out of Ember Drain, but I don't even want to draw it. Like, this deck has become very clear in what it wants to do. It wants to find perils, it wants to find Void Binding, and to a lesser extent, it likes to see Immortal Trade, and it likes to see Echoes of the Past. Everything else in this deck needs to go. So, even though I want to hit this Merchant of Magic, the Unstable Vortex gives me a more guaranteed route, and if none of this stuff is super good, we don't take it. That's basically where we're at. What do we got here? We gotta fill up 20... I don't mind Spell Chain Void Binding. That's basically a double stack. It's a shittier double stack, but that still makes it good. Do I want to re-roll and probably not afford the multi-strike that comes up? Is this the last Merchant of Steel we're hitting? It looks like it. Yeah, because I think even though this Vortex is here, we're going to Hell Vent either the Void Binding or the Perils. We're better off removing spells at this point, I think. Even though that... Echoes aren't that important to this deck, even though I have a lot of Reap damage. I do think removing these Plinks might be the best call. The Echoes might have to go as well. I mean, this Echoes really doesn't actually give us much damage. I might actually remove the Echoes right now. I don't see any world where I can justifiably make a huge use out of this Echoes of the Past. I think I get more damage from just having Echoes stacked on the floor and the massive amounts of Reap that I'm applying. So I'm going to remove Echoes of the Past. It's pretty unnecessary now. And then, problem with the Plinks, it's either, I guess, these Echo Snares or these Plinks. Nice thing about the Echo Snares, though, is I don't redraw them. But that might not matter. This might be a... Oh, we definitely don't need engine upgrade, I can tell you that. So let's get rid of that. That'll be good for now. This has got to be the last steel that we hit, I think. So, do I re-roll? I have to basically get... I have to win a 1 out of 3 here. I have to win a 1 out of 3. How much health do I have? 60? I might just do an Echo Stone. I'd have to win a 1 out of 3 into 1 out of like 6 or something to be able to afford it. So I think since we're lacking in a bit of damage, the Echo Stone here, it adds a respectable amount of damage. And since we're relying on concussive coals a lot this next fight, I do think maybe we should remove some cards. The stewards are still pretty tough to get out. Let's remove a few of them. One of them. One of them, to be precise. And I think I will spell chain this Void Binding. It's easy enough for me to get it down to 1. Should we purge as well, actually? I don't think we need to. We're already a pretty thin deck, and those shards might be relevant. Sin of Shadow gets a lot of stealth from shards, so even though I'm pretty sure we'll have no problems in Relentless, I just don't think it's worth. It might be worth. I don't know. It might actually be worth. But as we can see here, we draw all of this stuff just looks icky to us at this point, right? Dude, Concussive Coals is getting the fucking MVP here for sure. For sure. Holy shit, Concussive... I mean, we didn't need it there, but if we did, it was there for us. True, it didn't get the one here. This is the one we would want, but I can't hold it against you, Concussive Coals. Just everything we want in the bottom half of the deck. Never lucky, right? Let's try to kill this guy if we can. I hate these guys that much. And let's put some Reap there, get an Echo on the floor. Dude, we are drawing so fucking poorly. So I'm guaranteed to draw everything here. So I can stack this right now, but God, doesn't that suck? 5 whole stacks of superfood, and I only get to cash in on literally 1 extra stack here because we drew so fucking poorly. I think I should have used the Purge Stone now at that point. Like, that actually makes me so fucking mad. Concussive Coals, you are fucking good, though. I can't fault anything that Concussive Coals has been doing on this fight. It's been great. Even though I haven't needed it. So we can finally get... we get literally just 1 benefit here from this fucking thing. But you know what? Even just 1... basically doubling of 4 damage shield and 18 rage and 4 lifesteal is a-okay by me. That's a-fucking okay. 41. Are we going to need any damage on this guy? We might. I think I need more damage on that guy, though. We are going to get some Scourges here, but it is what it is. Alright, the follow-up damage here gets it done. Now Symphony of the Soul would have been great, but we don't know, you know, you don't know what's going to happen on any given run, so... I won't hold it against you, Concussive Coals, I won't. That's the power of Spell Chain Perils there, right there, though. I have so much Ember to just willy-nilly do what I want with. And now we get to the point where waves just get deleted by the weird animation of Glareminder. He's a sweeper, but where's his whip? Where's anything? I don't know. You tell me. Alright, we are now out of stealth there. Just trying to put in as much reap damage as possible. But we definitely have this. There's no way we're losing. No way. Not a way in the world to lose. We got the true Skyrim difficulty here, where everything in the first fucking floors were sharded up. Not this guy, though. Not this single tank. You ready for it, Arcus? I'm giving it to you. Well, there's a Symphony of Soul now, but, God, look at this. This is... Whew, my heart is fluttering. I got the butterflies. Look. This is just love at first sight. All three of these cards are amazing for Superfood. I can see arguments for every single one of them. I mean, obviously a sweeper with trample's great. And I also, you know, the nice thing about Umbra Stone is it doesn't require any setup like these other ones do. Like, I have to draw my buffs and echoes before Symphony of Soul goes off. Furnace Tap, I can do it, but if I find it before Perils, there is a downside of just, I won't be able to play anything until I find Perils. I think I've constructed the deck, though. I mean, I'm taking a draw upgrade. I've constructed it such that I don't think that's going to be that much of a downside. And then Umbra, but Umbra just does work immediately. I don't even have to play it on the Primordium. I just put it right on the sweeper, and boom. It's basically like having multi-strike, but I think Furnace Tap is the best here. We have the Ember Drain package. It just makes the most sense. There's really not that much of a downside. We go left here because it has the Vortex, even though we probably can't afford any of the trinkets, but the way we're, you know, it's all about constructing this deck, right? I might buy this base charge. Not really that needed, though, is it? Not with what the deck ended up becoming. Deck ended up not using Echo. I mean, it has Reap stuff. You know what? If it's Penitent, I would like this. Let's take it. And, I think we just remove Stewards at this point. I actually don't care like, the Plinks are okay for generating Echoes. And I don't think redrawing through the deck is that important. I think the initial draw through the deck is a bit more important here. And if it is Penitent, I need Echoes to kill the guy, basically. Not gonna lie, I was wishing for anything other than these. So we won't take them. I wanted -2 for the Void Binding. It's fine, though. So we gotta remember, we want Superfood here. Even though Stalwart has the higher roll, Superfood protects us the most. If I had Intrinsic, though, I would put it on Void Binding. Intrinsic would have been amazing, and then I wouldn't need to do this, but we didn't get Intrinsic. We don't know if we're getting it. We might as well just take the safe route here with Superfood 2. There's basically no way for us to lose at this point. Yeah, we're going to absolutely murder this. Spell Shield does absolutely nothing to my build. Put you down in true fashion, though. We just see a bunch of bullshit. I think we're fine to stack up here. Some Echoes. Those will be useful Echoes at any rate. Ooh, nice. We got everything now. We We didn't low roll so hard this time. Now I'm gonna get the full. We're gonna feel the full Rexen effect here of fucking whatever his name is, Superfood Primordium. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Ooh, and we get the Furnace Tap. We're gonna get 3 extra strikes of Multi-Strike. 3 extra stacks of Multi-Strike even. This guy's probably the most threatening, right? And we'll just... I guess we should put the Echoes here. This is beautiful, though. I love it. It is funny how this game often just has such reverse difficulty. It's pretty rare, actually, to... I guess I do like that they made Divinity so hard, because there was too many times in the base game where Seraph was the easiest fight of the whole lot. It still kind of is that way, honestly, right? It still kind of is that way, but at least Seraph isn't the final fight anymore. It's pretty badass music, isn't it? This is Necromunda, if anybody's ever played that game. I'll be honest, I know nothing about the game. I only know that the soundtrack I like. Never actually played the game, didn't know it existed until I found the soundtrack. Because it was the guy that did the music. I've seen his other stuff, and it just kind of led me to it. All of his stuff is awesome. He does this. All of his stuff sounds similar to this, which is a fucking good thing in my book, personally. Unfortunately, it's living armor, so we're not allowed to style on him. It's just the way of the world. It's the way of the road, bubs. Look at these stats, though, huh? Exact, perfect 100 or 99 Ember Drain now. Beautiful. We aren't taking them. I think I want the Soul Crushing Guilt. I think. With base charge, it's pretty easy to get off. That's what she said. Returned Soul is also an option. Thin the deck out. I like Soul Crushing Guilt more, though. Definitely going Hellvent something. I don't know what. But it's going to be something. This is completely redundant with my quickness. Hammered chest plates is all, of course, late game Dun Echo. Always nice to have an in-clan. Well, I'm not going to bash Wormkin artifacts. They're really good, but Dun Echo isn't. That card. This is just the worst. They need to add a G to the end of that N, if you know what I mean. Dung Echo. Dung Echo is the joke there. Dung meaning poop, meaning shit, meaning bad. Hammered chest plates is so bad, but it's alright. It's not. Alright, I have one extract card. It's still probably worth it. I'll probably take it, but let's see what the money situation here looks like. Honestly, I should probably just purge out all the other cards. Karuska's so good, but I don't know, man. Ooh. Might as well, right? I mean, why not? Oh. Alright. I should probably do that, right? I mean, there's just so many options. What was that? What was in the middle? Temple? Was I getting an... Is there an intrinsic? Oh, snap. Okay, we're gonna intrinsic that. 0 cost it. So I can just... I don't need to 0 cost it. I see a spell chain. Yeah, I mean, I might just hold it over. I kind of want to hold that over just for maximum LOL. Like, this doesn't make any sense to do, but I kind of want to do it. So I'm probably gonna... Yeah, let's just do it. Why not? Why not? When in Rome, you know, put the thing on that. Here's the thing about Karuska. True, I could purge like 2 cards out here. True, I could do that. Or I could just have Karuska, the most expensive Karuska in the world, by the way. I could have Karuska mean if I have Echoes on the floor, which I will, I'm guaranteed to have them, it gets me out of Ember Drain. Boom, we're taking it. Any way I can justify that, you know I'm going to do it. Guess what? You're getting duped, friend. Duped. In the best sense the best sense the word I can think of. Do we want to spell chain this? There's absolutely no reason to. So we will. You gotta give him a fighting chance, you know. At this point, you can't have the last 2 fights be just so stupidly easy, right? That's just wrong. So it ends up we really didn't need the stacks here, but you know what? Basically GG at this point. GG Allen. I highly don't recommend checking out GG Allen. Aw, never lucky. Let's give Seraph some stats. I mean, why not? Here we go. Hey, Seraph. What? Get fucked. Have fun with that, bitch. Still give him some echoes and stuff. This deck had a steward in it still. How did that sneak by? 69. Damn, if we would have that furnace tap going though, we would have had the craziest of stews brewing. We should get echoes kind of spread out, right? Can you believe I had 2 unupgraded Plinks in the same turn on a Seraphite generate me 2 fucking, whatever you call it? Whatever you call them? I don't know what they're called. You know what they're called. Morsels, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Alright, we have our first... Good thing we consume remove that versus just 0 costing it, right? And held it over. Have some of this, you asshole. No flying kill here, disappointing. But that just means we get to enjoy the fight for a little longer. 1. Karuska, you work so oddly. Just keep this going here. Ah, 421, missed opportunity. It may decay back down if I don't play cards for a few turns, huh? Probably not worth, though. Let's give them 1 Echo in case we get the Soul Crushing Guilt, which I think we will guaranteed, right? Oh no, we already drew it. We already drew it with John Pruitt. Just trying to get those plinks off. By plinks, I mean rocks. My rocks. Alright, let's give him a fighting chance. Boom. 486. Wasn't that like an old school computer? Or is that a 386? I can't remember. That's from all my Windows 3.Xers out there. Windows 3.X. It wasn't good. I was sentient enough to kind of experience it at that age. Windows 95 was the best. I don't know how old a lot of you are, but I was young enough. I think it was like maybe around middle school when I had my first Windows 95, and the night and day difference between what Windows was before Windows 95 to Windows 95, I'm telling you, you'll never be able to know. Nothing since then has come close in terms of operating systems. The vast difference from complete shit to like pretty awesome. I know if you have a nowadays just view of what the operating systems are, that might seem crazy, but I'm telling you, like, before, everything based, like, I don't even know who could, like there was hardly anything you could even do in fucking Windows before, in the 3.x version. We're, of course, low rolling here. I guess it doesn't matter. Really, at this point, it's just perils or soul-crushing guilt that we would want. But, yeah, what was I saying? Basically, Windows 95 was the first OS that, like, you didn't have to just go to the command line to basically do everything on. So, it was pretty nice for me, at least, as a kid. I mean, nowadays, I'm like a Linux fucking guru, but command line Linux, to be precise. But back then, fucking as a kid, doing things on a fucking command line fucking sucked. Like, you'd have to play, every video game you play, you'd have to, like, run a specific DOS command, and half the time it wouldn't fucking work anyway. And by work, I use that term very liberally. Like, Microsoft Works was known as an oxymoron back then, because nothing worked. And but yeah, Windows 95 is the first time you could just use your OS to plug a CD in and just go to my computer. I don't think they really had plug and play figured out back then, but you could at least like click on the icon and have a fucking graphical menu guide you through your installation and setup. It was amazing. Well, tangent's complete. I hope that was a nice and useful lesson for y'all. We are definitely going to give every bit of dazed here, even though it's hurting my chances at a flying kill. Okay, we are going to get the flying kill here for show. For show. And anyway, hope that was a fun run. It was a fun run for me. Boom. But yeah, that first ring, that was some bullshit. I could imagine there had to have been a certain element, even if I was trying my hardest, at the very least there was a subconscious thing telling me ring 1 was bad. But I think I still would have beat it. Hard to say, with absolutely zero knowledge of anything coming up. I mean, I will say I didn't know that there was going to be what it was. So we got to give an MVP. I did say I was going to give it to Concussive Coals. So I will. You know what, Concussive Coals, it's the only time you'll ever get an MVP, so you get it here. Realistically, Perils, Spell Chain, and Void Binding Spell Chain deserve it. / Glare-Minder / Superfood, but Concussive Coals, you get it. So let's see what Dusk ended up doing. Yeah, he did stick with the, okay, his run took a different thing entirely. He went with the aggressive and superfood flex. I guess that works. I don't know if that means you started aggressive or if you... That must mean you started aggressive. I don't know. I never really liked this combo that much. I feel like it doesn't provide a whole lot, but I can't really fault it too much, right? I will say it allows for a top floor setup. And, you know, if you have... He also didn't have anything intrinsic, so it's like, often you might just not get that much value out of it. But, you know, with an egg, it probably is just a wash anyway. Because this egg takes so long to hatch. He also didn't take the Soul Siphon, so he didn't have that steroid of hatching He did have the hardened hole though, so that might have helped. I wonder. I wonder if he recorded this run. He might not have, but it'd be interesting to see how it played out. I've never been a huge fan of endless this egg. It can work. I guess if you have a hardened hole, it kind of works. But I feel like I would have took the soul siphon. Just a minor nitpick if it was endless, and that because that would really, especially considering we found the consumer move, but also remember a broken memories was offered. Oh, and he took it. So you could do soul siphon every turn, and soul siphon and hardened hole alone should be basically enough to hatch every turn. That would have been a pretty strong run, but I mean it's probably a pretty strong run anyhow. He did the same spell chain holdover perils. He did take return soul versus soul crushing guilt. Had a spell chain fracture. That's interesting. Had the spell chain void binding. I mean, our decks are pretty much the same otherwise, right? I wonder what the decision though was to go with the egg versus the Glareminder. I guess he might have already infused Carapace in. Maybe he already found Endless, so he was just committed at that point. I could see that. He actually did the same thing that I did with Furnace Tap. He didn't have the Lightstone casing though to truly make it what it could be. But yeah, I think my setup clearly has that higher roll with it. It goes the full Ember Drain Superfood route, whereas his kind of, he'll lose a few stacks of whatever with the Kin Host. He doesn't have the extra 5 buffet to stack with, and he also didn't have the Lightstone casing to make Void Binding and Furnace Tap a little bit more crazy, but all in all, it's essentially the same deck otherwise. So we had the same ideas. He didn't have Quick either, so Light Skiff makes more sense for his deck. Interesting that he took the Tempered Talisman. I mean, I guess it adds damage to the Plinks, but in my opinion, I think the Jack Strips is way better, because, I mean, if you think about it, and at least in the context of the early game, Jack Strips probably adds more damage than damage on your Plinks adds, right? And I don't think there's much in this combo that really benefits that much from +3 spell damage, other than, I guess, slightly a Mind Collapse. I think I like the Jack Strips better. And then Winged Indulgence versus the Concussive Coals. I can't fault him too much there. They're both pretty worthless artifacts. Maybe he was thinking -1 is likely to get him more. I think with me, given that the Sin of Shadow was there, it made sense for Concussive Coals. If there wasn't Sin of Shadow, if there wasn't Diligent, which there wasn't, I'd probably go Winged Indulgence there, but I think Sin of Shadow, I still stick to Concussive Coals. It technically got us a pretty good amount of value. Hole obviously makes sense since he kept the egg. My Pyrestone housing didn't do a whole lot for me. We both went blood for blood. I think we had the same idea there. He had to take a pip upgrade? I guess with the endless eggs. And then, yeah, everything else is the same. And then Dino Mom, it's just the opening deck. I don't know about this, though. Fossilized Fangs. I will say this. I would never have took Fossilized Fangs here. You would have had a much easier time had you taken a Jack Strips, as you saw with mine. But also, even the Talisman. Fossilized Fangs is one of those artifacts that seems good at first glance, but it really isn't. It's the only, probably the best thing it could have gotten you on this run is if you did find an alloy, it makes it a little less awkward. But I don't know, self-infused alloy is still probably going to do fine for you on this run. Another thing to keep in mind there, you only saw 2 Wormkin banners. There were no Umbra banners in those first two rings. Rings 2 and 3, I should say. I really, really, really think this is a mistake to take the fossilized fangs here. So I would actually say, I can deck doctor here and say that you probably would have made it, you definitely would have made it through this ring if you didn't take fossilized fangs and instead took other stuff. You also would have made it through, in fairness, you would have made it through if you didn't bottom deck all 4 stewards, so... Most runs, that probably ends up fine for you, but I think Fossilized Fangs is one of the worst artifacts in the game. Think about what it brings to the table. It brings you extra fuel for alloy, which past the point you self-infuse, that's not really that relevant. It gives you extra lifesteal and extra damage shield on the crucibles. You're not going to choose them anyway. It gives you extra AoE procs on a Shadow Eater, not really that relevant. And it gives you extra stats on a Morsel Maid, which I'm trying to think, we didn't see any Morsel Maid or anything crazy like that, right? So, you know, Morsel Maid is good without this anyway, but I will say it's pretty nice with Morsel Maid. I guess what I'm trying to say, though, is every scenario I just listed off, it is kind of a win more artifact. It doesn't solve any issues on its own that weren't kind of already either solved or not solved. And it's kind of the definition of a win more artifact. I'm not going to say there's not situations where it doesn't make sense to take it, but definitely early game. You saw how powerful early game Jackstrips is. Jackstrips early game, if you see a Jackstrips ring 1, I think you really got to default to that and make that be your choice unless something else just massively is a better choice. And I don't think Fossilized Fangs or even Tempered Talisman necessarily fit that bill. But that's what I'll say there. I hope I don't come off too aggressive when I make these suggestions. I really don't mean to be. These are my opinions. My opinions aren't correct necessarily. It's just like my opinion. I was gonna say that's like my opinion, man, but it's actually Dino Mom. It's Madam. My opinion, Madam. My opinions aren't correct. They're just opinions. But I try to give you what I think is correct, right? I do think it's just never really correct there to take Fossilized Fangs. But now that that horse is beaten to death, I hope this video was enjoyable for y'all. It was an enjoyable run for me, honestly. Other than ring 2 and 3, because we had the egg, which I hate. I hate that egg. I really hate that egg. It does look cool once it hatches. I like the look of it. And it's what you need sometimes. Had I not found Glareminder, I would have stuck with it. It would have done fine. But yeah, that'll do it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.